My father and mother met at art school. My father, who majored in sculpture, fell in love at first sight with my mother, who was a piano student. My father asked my mother to be a model for his sculptures. My mother initially disliked it, but my father's behavior was so intense. She finally gave in to his persistence. She accepted the offer to become a model. Eventually, the two fell in love and pledged their future to each other. My mother's family was a prominent family in Sendai, and they were quite wealthy. She was an only daughter who was loved and grew up without any hardships. In contrast, my father was born into a poor family. Having lost both parents at a young age, he was passed around among relatives and grew up being treated like a nuisance. The only person my father ever truly trusted was his middle school art teacher. That teacher specialized in sculpture, and my father was immediately captivated by it. My father had that talent and won first place in numerous competitions. He received a scholarship to attend high school and university. He was able to go to college. One day, my father and mother, who had pledged to marry each other, went to my mother's family home to ask for their permission. My mother had kind parents. They thought they would forgive them right away. If he's the man you chose, there is no mistake. However, my mother's parents were furious and said terrible things to my father. Do you think a good-for-nothing like you could have my pretty daughter? And my parents dropped out of university and eloped. They were poor, though very happy. But for my mother, who grew up in wealth, it was a very difficult life. My mother conceived me and died the moment I was born. My father wept and cried, overwhelmed with grief. He probably would have committed suicide if I hadn't been there. My father loved me very much. He would do anything for money, and I never lacked for anything. To my father, I was everything. When I was in first grade of elementary school, my mother's parents came to visit and took me away to their house in Sendai. My mother's parents, seeing my father crying and clinging to me, "You killed my daughter," she said. "You caused my daughter so much suffering, and ultimately, you killed her," the father said, and there were no words to reply. What could my father do when they took me away? He wanted to become a sculptor recognized by my mother's parents. All he wanted was to get me back. From that day on, my father was like a demon. He dedicated himself to sculpting, and after 10 years, the work was completed. It was modeled after my mother's appearance when she was pregnant with me. The work was beautiful, and if it had been exhibited, it would have undoubtedly brought him fame as a top-class sculptor. That's how amazing the work was. But the work was never published. A man named Kaneda stole the artwork. My parents borrowed money when they eloped. It was taken as collateral. The tens of thousands of yen they borrowed amounted to several million yen. But my father said he would return it. He'll definitely return it. Just leave the artwork. He begged them not to take it. And yet, Kaneda, he took my father's artwork. They used thugs and forcibly took the artwork. My father received it at that time. He lost his sight as a result of the assault. Having lost his sight, my father's path as a sculptor was also cut short, and he lived in despair. He escaped from the hospital and got hit by a car. By the time I arrived, he was barely alive. When my father saw that I had come, he smiled and shed tears. And then he died.
Sub.
My father's artwork is about to be sold off overseas. It's still at the port for now, but it'll be loaded onto a ship and set sail soon. If that happens, I'll never be able to encounter my father's work again. Taro, please help me.
Of course I'll help. But what exactly do I need to do?
That port is home to expensive works of art and such. Because we're about to carry it out, the security is very tight. The entrance has 2 gates. You need a pass at the first gate. You absolutely cannot get in unless you show it. For example, even if you manage to force your way through the first gate, the second gate beyond that is designed to close automatically.
Then that's no good.
The second gate is about 400 meters ahead. There's a time lag of about 10 seconds between the emergency signal being sent from the first gate and the gate closing.
400 meters in 10 seconds. Could it be?
Please, Taro. Who can run 400 meters in 10 seconds? You're the only one for me.
But even if we manage to get inside the harbor, what do we do after that? I'm not trying to steal the sculpture, you know. I don't want to be a thief.
Of course. I wouldn't do that. I was raised at my mother's family home. My grandparents were very fond of me. She also showed me photos of her mother from when she was alive. But the photos there are only until my mother was a student. I have never seen a photo of my mother after she married my father. My father's sculpture was made when my mother was pregnant with me. I remember my mother at the happiest moment of her life, when she married my father. I want to imprint this image in my memory. Please, Taro, show me what my mom was like when she was happy.
I understand. Leave it to me.
Okay, I'll explain the plan.
The plan?
Look at this. Here's a map of the harbor.
How incredibly
Good? This is Gate 1. There's a guardhouse next to it. This gate is always open, but if there is an anomaly, it will close simultaneously with the second gate. This is Gate 2. It's about 400 meters from Gate 1. And these 2 gates close. The process takes approximately 10 seconds. By forcing through the first gate, if you pass through the second gate within 10 seconds, you can enter the harbor.
What do you do after you get in?
This port is normally a U.S. military base. It's outside the police's jurisdiction. So once you're in, everything else will fall into place.
Is this something that would require police involvement?
A little bit. For example, there's no way the police would show up.
That's fine then.
Okay, then it's settled. We'll do it tonight.
Huh? Tonight?
Yes, strike while the iron is hot. If I succeed, I'll give you a kiss as a thank you.
Really?
Absolutely.